Some components in Quasar give you serious bang for your buck for a relatively small amount of markup, and the Q-Chat message component is a classic example of that. So let's go ahead and say Quasar, new page, Q-Chat message page, and don't forget to put the word components in front of that. And let's go ahead and open it up, chat message page, and just test that it's working. And there it is. Let's get started. So first I want to make it so we've got kind of a mobile type feel going on in the middle of this page. So just adding like a rectangle in the center. And I'm going to do that by saying class equals flex. So we'll use flexbox here, justify center so that what's in there is moved to the center. And then we'll put a div in here. And what will we put on that div? How about class is equal to background gray 1, just to separate it a little bit. We'll also give it a shadow. Sometimes shadows are a really good alternative to a border because they help you see the edge of areas. Then we can say q-padding all large. So let's give that a try. Throw test in there. Yeah, there we go. So now we can say style is equal to width 380 pixels. I think that would be good. And now it's kind of like a mobile app, or something that you might see in WhatsApp, something like that. Now let's do a basic example. Q-chat-message, and that's the only component that we're going to need. And we can throw in there sent, which means this is on the side of the person that sent the message. So that means it will show up on the right side in this case. And then we can say text, and this is actually going to equal an array. So you can put multiple items of text in there. How ya going, mate? Very Aussie. And there we go. Straight away we get this beautiful text message. And if you wanted to add another line, you could just put a comma and whack it in there like that, and it would show up. Notice that it does a bit of the styling for us. So we've got some space at the bottom of this last message where we can put things like timestamps, but then this message is a little bit thinner. All right, so let's get rid of that for now. And how about a reply? To do a reply is really easy. We just remove the sent keyword. So paste that down. Instead of sent, we'll just have some text on its own. Absolutely tremendous. 1, 2, 3. And getting better. Save that. And there we go. That's how easy it is to use this component. I'll show you some more advanced stuff, but that's pretty much the crux of it. We can also add a name here. So let's say name is equal to Katara. Save that, and now there's a name showing up at the top there. And then here, we can set the name to Ang. There we go, and now we've got a little bit more context there for our messages. Another thing we can do is add an avatar in. So let's say avatar here. And I'm just going to copy that text, search for the word Katara, look at images, and if I put in here PNG, then I can find one that's got no background. Yeah, there we go. So let's copy the location of that image, copy image address, and make that the avatar. And it works. And we can do the same thing for Ang. Ang PNG. There we go. Copy link address, come down here, set the avatar to that image. That's a very long URL. Oh, I must have done something wrong. So let's just try that one more time. Copy image address. Grab all of this and paste it in there. There we go. That's working. Cool. So that's how you add an avatar. You can add a stamp as well. So for example, stamp is equal to maybe 1 hour ago. And this just adds a little bit of context to the message. And then maybe Ang replied 30 minutes ago. 30 minutes ago. There we go, just to add a little bit more context there. We can also mess around with the colors. So let's come down here and say background-color is equal to gray-9. There we go, that gives it a gray background. In this case, we'll have to change the text color now. And let's just set that to white. There we go, simple as that. And another thing we can do is set the size. And this is a lot like using columns. So you know how we can say, for example, column-12, and the number goes up to 12, and then you can say column-6, and that will take up half of the space. Well, what we can do here is say size is equal to 6. And there we go. That's going to take up half of the space. And I'm pretty sure that's half of the space, not including the avatar, because if I put this onto 12, yeah, notice that it bleeds over the edge a bit there. And so you couldn't put that as 12. It would have to be something like 10 if you want to take up all the space. But yeah, that's the size property. What else can we do? Well, of course, we have total control over the slot of this message. So if we get rid of this, open it up so we can play around in there, get rid of the text, and now we can basically put whatever we want inside here and style it however we like. So let's say, I love you so freaking much, because we know that Aang loved Katara throughout the series. And then we can throw an image under here. So Q-image, close that off. Let's set a class equal to, let's just add a little bit of a margin top there of small, just so it's not leaning too hard against the text here. And we'll give it a source as well. And how about this? We go love heart PNG. You can see I've already searched for it. Images. And what have we got here? Yeah, something like that. Cool. By the way, a quick tip. If you're on Google and you want something that has got a transparent background, see these checkers here? That means that it won't be transparent. So if you copy that image, you'll actually get the checkers in there. So what you have to do is you have to find one that's got seemingly no background, click on the image, and if the checkers then show up, that means it's a transparent image. Just like a weird trick that I learned about Google Images and finding transparent background images. So copy the image address there, whack it in, and there we go. That works really, really nicely. I like that. This could be really good for GIFs as well. And another reason you might use this is for like a loader. So let's just copy that down. What can we get rid of here? We can probably get rid of the avatar part. And I'll just give you an example with a loader, because this is something that you might want to do. Q-spinner-dots. And then you can say the size is equal to 2 rems. And there we go. Aang is typing a message. Now, of course, if we like, we can customize the avatar itself. So let me get rid of this message here so we can do this example. So if I come up here, how about we leave that for now and we add a template. And then that's going to be equal to avatar. So basically we're diving into the avatar slot, meaning that we can get rid of this. And we could put, for example, Q-avatar and then just a letter like A for Aang. Yeah. And then we could change the background here. Class equals background-blue. However, notice that the styling isn't quite right here. And that's because the QMessage component has a little bit of its own styling. So we actually need to put the styling back in this scenario. And I'll just change that text to white. It's kind of bugging me. Yeah, that's a bit better. So what we would do is we'd add in Q-message-avatar. So that's part of the styling. But then the other part of the styling is letting it know that it was a received message. So Q-message-avatar-received. And there we go. That's going to fix up the styling for us. So just a cool little trick there if you want a bit more control over the avatar component. We can also sanitize our text as well. Let me give you an example. If we look for Azula PNG, and of course Azula is the baddie. If we come to images over here, we can find a picture of her, maybe that one. There we go. Copy the image address. And I might get rid of that. Actually, no, let's bring it back in because I want to be able to set the background to red here. Yeah, that'll be good. And then we can say Q-image and then set the source of that equal to the image of Azula. Let's see if that worked out okay. Yeah, I think that looks really good. And maybe instead of background red, we'll say background red 9, just to make it a bit darker. Cool. And in this example, Azula is going to be up to no good. So let's get rid of this section here. All right, so we've only got the name there. Let's change it from Aang to Azula. And then let's put in some custom text here. And we'll call it Azula text because we're going to do some malicious stuff with this text. If we come down here and we say data, and then we say return and set the Azula text, we can set it to something like, how about a strong tag, class is equal to text red -9. So this is something you should not be able to do. We definitely don't want these tags to be interpreted. Otherwise, you can put stuff like script tags in there and run stuff on other people's computer that they may not want run on their computer. So it's a pretty common thing where you'll want to sanitize the data. So we're going to add a strong tag there, and we'll say, I can do whatever I desire. Mwah! So let's save that. And this is going to have to be an array. So come over here, turn that into an array. Try again. Yeah, so notice that Azula was able to change the text and make it red. She should not be able to do that. But that's okay. Katara's going to use her code bending and change this to text-sanitize. And there we go. Now you can't change what shows in here. It's going to make sure that you don't end up with tags that you might not want. And this works for other parts as well. So for example, let's put Azula name. So maybe she's going to have her own custom name. And we can come down here and say Azula name. And let's set it to strong with a class that is text-h1, which is going to look ridiculously big. Azula, Fire Lord. Something like that. Yeah, so we definitely do not want that. We don't want people to be able to set their name and have it show up ridiculously in the layout. And so we can easily fix that. Katara counters this injection with some serious code bending skills and puts in name-sanitize. And there we go. That's going to sanitize the name. And note, you can also sanitize label and stamp as well. So for example, the stamp here, you can sanitize that. And we can also add a label as well. Actually, I haven't even showed you that yet. So let's do this. You can say Q-chat message. Get rid of pretty much everything and just put in label. And then you can say, for example, the date today. I'm just going to put in my birthday. 28th of March, but we'll say 2020. Yeah, and that adds in a label at the top there. Just remember that the Q-chat message can also be a label on its own. In fact, I've never tried adding label to a message itself. Let's see what happens if I do that. All right, so it just throws a label above it. That could be cool. Or how about like, Katara will speak now. Yeah, I don't know. So it looks like label just adds something in the center at the top, which is kind of handy. And that's everything that the Q-chat message can do for us, which is really, really nice. You can create an awesome chat app just using this one component. So obviously you'd have to like do the back end as well, but it's nice to know that we can make a beautiful front end chat app using this one component. I think it's really, really cool. And I'll see you in the next video where we'll talk about something else.